GameBreakers is home to everything esports and basketball. Let's break the game.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the GameBreakers. My name's Dave.
And this is Cam, and we're ready to break the game today.
Man, we got an exciting one for you guys. It's absolutely amazing what we have going on. Huge interviews today. We are going to be interviewing Tony Farmer, an NBA player. So that's going to be pretty cool for Kyle to sit and chat with Tony Farmer. Great dude. He's got an awesome business that he started, so I can't wait to hear all about that.
Yeah, I'm really excited too. He's got a unique resume where he's played not only in the NBA, but he's also played in Europe. And he has some really cool things going on in the entrepreneurship space. So it's definitely going to be a great interview.
All right.
Excited
well,
about it.
Let's get into it, guys. You know, one thing that I really want to talk about right now is this new league, Unrivaled, the 3x3 Women's League. Have you seen the 3x3 Women's League?
I have seen it, and they're doing something truly special. I'll let you start off, but excited to talk about this topic.
Yeah, the whole league is just like, it looks like it's going to be absolutely filled with star-studded talent, like all the WNBA chicks, Brianna Stewart, Carrington, Wilson, everybody. They're all in there. Yeah. And that's one of the things that stood out to me right away, because we run our own tournament. How come these NBA guys aren't joining our tournaments?
That's
and
right.
Stuff like that for bigger cash prizes, and you know what I mean? All the WNBA girls just joined right away. It's like,
yeah, they have some amazing people like Angel Reese, Brianna Stewart, and Nafisha Collier. I love how they started the league. And it's very unique because this is a player-owned league. They started the league.
Yep.
They own it. They all have shares in the league.
Yeah.
And they also, I think the average salary in this league is $220,000.
They're getting paid more than WNBA players,
which is more than any women's league. So it's like they're doing some groundbreaking things, and it's pretty exciting.
And I don't know if you've seen the stadium, but like the arena that they built inside the stadium for the Unrivaled League, but it's nuts. They got a daycare in there. They got a Sephora glam room. So for the women, right? They go in and get ready before the game, right? So they're all going to be on camera and stuff, right? So they want to be making sure that they're glamorous, you know. But the whole thing is absolutely cool. The daycare, the nursery, it's just like exactly what you would need inside of an arena for a women's league, right?
Yeah, and it's really exciting. And they have some big sponsors. I'll just share some with you guys. Legendary Don Staley's involved.
Nice.
The prodigy tennis player Coco's involved. Big names like State Farm and Wayfair.
To have Coco involved is pretty cool,
it's
man.
Pretty cool.
She's digging the whole 3x3 vibe, eh?
And she's really breaking the game for women's sports too, because she's one of the top 5 paid tennis players, men or women.
Yeah.
So she's really breaking the game too. So it's really exciting to see.
No, man, it's really true, and that whole league is going to be exciting to watch. I'm really excited to
watch.
As
a 3x3 guys, 3x3 guys like we are, we're fired up, and it's unique too because traditionally, the way we play 3x3, our games, it's only in the half court. But with this, it's a full court 3-on-3 game. So it's cool to see. There's going to be a lot of spacing. Got some of the top 36 players in the league. And what I really like about this league is they all have equity. Yeah. Like all the players have equity in the league in addition to that $220K.
Yeah, so not only are you getting paid, on top of that, they're actually giving you ownership and equity shares into the team as well.
Which is a game changer.
That's huge. And you know, leagues like what actually kind of scares me about that is if leagues like this keep popping up where they're paying more, like what's going to happen to the bigger leagues like WNBA and NBA? LeBron's starting this other league that he's starting an international league. Like he's going to be challenging the NBA with that league.
He really is.
So it's kind of scary to think of the future of sports right there.
They're such a big market, NBA and WNBA, but like you were saying earlier, they were getting paid more than they currently are in the WNBA. So it's kind of like in the old school times where they have a little bit of competition like the ABA, so it'll be interesting to see how they respond to that.
Yeah, 100%. Another thing I want to talk about, man, huge game in France, man. The Pacers and Spurs. The Pacers and Spurs just had the biggest game ever watched and viewed and attended to in France. And, that's absolutely crazy to me. I think it's because Wemby was there, probably.
Yeah, so that kid Wemby, they call him the alien for a reason. That kid's pretty special, so it's cool to see him in his home court. And they got a lot of other guys from France that are cleaning up too.
You know, like Gobert. You got Batum. You got Tony Parker.
Yeah,
Tony Parker's a legend.
He's
one of my favorite point guards of all time.
Oh, he's amazing.
You know what I mean?
He's amazing.
His IQ was on point. The feeds to Duncan just were ridiculous. The passes to Duncan were just nasty. He was a good player. But my point is that all these guys coming from the international side of things, like 36% of the players in the NBA in 2024 were international players. You know, so the talent that's coming from all around the world to take part in the NBA is just absolutely crazy. So to see a game like that blowing up in France, it's
really inspiring, and I'm excited for the future too, because the viewership, like I'll share this stat with you guys real quick. NBA League Pass subscriptions last year in France grew 26%, and TV viewership increased 23% year over year in France. So I'm excited to see the future, because so many amazing players are coming out of France already. But now that there's more exposure, more viewership, and more interest, who knows who else is going to come out of France in the future? Yeah,
and like even other countries too. Like let's take Jokic. Like Jokic has to be one of the most popular player in the NBA according to like the fan votes for the NBA All-Star starting weekend, right? So this guy got 3.7 million votes. And he leads the votes 3 years in a row.
Yeah, so, he's such a special player, and he's doing things out there that I've never seen. So I found this out recently, that he gets more touches than anybody else in the league. He gets about 113 touches a game. So he's like the engine. The ball runs through Jokic.
Oh, for sure.
And he does everything. Like I think there's a guy, I'm going to tell you who was actually, I won't tell you who's number one. I won't spoil it with you, but I'll share these stats real quick. So on the 14th of January, he reached 15,000 points, 7,500 rebounds, and 5,000 assists faster than anybody else has ever done it.
Wow.
He beat this other legend by 90 games. I won't, okay.
As a center? Is it a center?
As a center, but he
Shaq?
No, just period.
Oh.
So he was the quickest player to accomplish this.
Wow.
He beat Larry Bird by 90 games.
Wow.
So he's doing some special things.
That is absolutely special, man. Jokic is the only Denver Nugget to be a starter in 5 All-Star games.
Yeah.
So like that's pretty special, man.
And if he wins the MVP this year, he's going to be in some special company.
He's not going to, bro. Shai's taking it.
I think I want Shai to take it. He's
Shai's
from Hamilton. We're super proud of him.
This guy put up 51 the other night.
Yeah, he put up 51 the other night. Right. He had 45 before that. So he's just night after night. He's getting better and better.
When's he doing 60?
Pretty soon, honestly.
Right? This guy's putting up 60 in no time, I guarantee it.
I don't know if everybody at home is going to agree with me, but out of everybody in the NBA, he reminds me most of Kobe Bryant.
Well, he's like the only guy that's doing things like that. Yeah.
Because I would have said Kawhi Leonard, but Kobe wasn't taking this many games off. There wasn't that load management. But you want to talk about a guy that operates in the mid-range and makes a living in the mid-range.
Yep.
I think he's shooting 52% for mid-range, which is among lead leaguers.
Yeah.
So he's kind of, what I love about Jokic and Shai is they're going against the grain of what everybody's complaining about in the NBA.
Yeah.
They're complaining about load management. These guys never miss games.
No, Jokic
they're complaining
is a beast.
about too many threes. These guys make a living in the mid-range. They hit threes too.
Yep.
And
both of them do.
They complain about guys being too greedy and not about the team, but the team chemistry that these guys have, they bring all the team, like Jokic doesn't have the best personality, but want to talk about a leader that's all about his team, and even Shai. Like even after the game in the interviews, he has his whole team around him. That's how locked in these guys are.
Yeah,
so
and they're amping him up too in the interviews. They're on his back. They're throwing towels over the coach or over the interview guy. That was hilarious, right? They troll him kind of while he's in his interviews and stuff.
They're having a lot of fun.
Shai's one of those players though. He's trying to become the face of the league. You know what I mean? And I truly think it's going to be a player like that, like Shai, that is going to be the face of the league.
I think he's got a legit shot.
One of the best players, but I don't see him being like the face of the league. He's not like that kind of guy, like in the media and stuff like that, where he could be the face of the league. You know what I mean?
I think Shai has a bit more personality.
That's what I'm saying. He's more
exactly. He's someone that you could really get around and really
trained,
build up.
Yeah, he's more media trained.
As much as I love American players, I know the NBA wants to really get behind an American star. I really think Shai's going to be the guy that's going to
listen, Nikola.
A unicorn.
You will not take MVP, moment. Nikola. Okay, you're not taking it, Nikola.
Yes, and I love Jokic. I love the Serbian community where I grew up in Hamilton, Ontario.
Same.
A lot of my friends were Serbian. I love the Serbian community. And I really love what Jokic is doing. He's truly doing something special.
Him and
But
Doncic.
being from Hamilton, I got to go with the Hamilton guy. I got to ride for Shai.
Shai.
I think he may do it. He's got a legit shot.
Shai's got it, man. If he keeps up his reign of terror right now, ever since Holmgren, was it Holmgren that's out?
Yeah,
he got injured, right?
Yeah.
Since Chet got injured, man, he's just turned on a different gear.
He's turned on a different gear. He's leading the league in points.
Yeah.
Free throws, win shares, defensive box plus minus. I got to get a little technical here just to really highlight what these defensive win shares and drives per game.
Yeah.
21.2 drives per game a night he's averaging.
Yeah. So he's just going to the bucket.
He's going to the bucket.
And that's the thing with Shai. Is that Shai's stats? That's
Shai's stats.
Yeah. The thing with Shai too is when he goes to the bucket, like when Jokic goes to the bucket, there's like multiple ways to stop this guy. You know what I mean? When Shai goes in there, there's only it's so hard to stop him. He's so thin and slippery that he just gets in these weird angles and pops it up and gets it in no matter what. Like it's amazing to see.
What I would say with Shai is he's definitely more athletic.
Very much so.
He has an ability where he could just really stop on the dime.
On a dime, yeah.
Or he'll pull up and shoot. And he's very reactionary. So some guys you could tell that they're going into a move and they're planning, I want to do a in and out crossover, whatever. Shai's a guy that can analyze his opponent, and he's very reactionary. He in real time.
His reaction time's on point.
He's very high IQ guy,
cat-like reflexes.
High reaction time. Jokic isn't as athletic, but he's an absolute nightmare for any defense because he's such a great. He's not just one of the best passing center. He's just one of the best passers. Period.
I think he is the best passing center that I've ever seen.
He's second in the league in assists.
Yeah.
Not for bigs, just period. He's third in the league for points scored. And he's third in the league for rebounds. He's top three in those categories. He's a monster.
Yeah, to be a center and be getting and you're second in assists.
Yeah.
That's scary, but
it's scary.
That's pretty scary.
Yeah, it's exciting. So I know a lot of people are complaining about the league, but ironically, the two MVP league getters, as we said before, don't reflect any of these complaints at all. So let's big these guys up more and let's talk about this more because what they're doing is special.
100%. All right, guys, you already know what it is, man. Right after this, we're going to be getting into an exciting interview with ex-NBA player Tony Farmer. Check us out right after these messages.
Simple Stair Solutions is a family-run business that changes your staircase forever. We cap existing staircases in luxury vinyl plank so there is less mess, less money, and no more staining. Check out our flush mount vents reinforced with steel and our new red oak, maple, and hickory staircases stained to match. Contact us today at 905-520-4202. Let's break the game.
What's going on, GameBreakers family? This is Cam. We got an amazing guest today. We got Tony Farmer, NBA veteran. He's also played overseas, and he has an amazing story that we're really excited to dive into. How you doing, Tony?
Doing good. Thanks for having me, guys.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to have you. So just to start off, you have an amazing story, but the place that we always like to begin at the GameBreakers is where it all started. So tell us about your basketball journey, where it started growing up in California at the middle school and high school level.
Yeah, I mean, I'm originally from Los Angeles, California. Still live out in this area today. So picked up a basketball for the first time, 7 years old. Played football, basketball, baseball, played them all growing up, and then went on to middle school and then attended Artesia High School where I was, honorable mention, McDonald's All-American, finished top 100 in the country, and then went on to start my college career after that.
That's amazing. So I didn't realize that you played football and baseball as well. What point was it where you knew that basketball was going to be the sport for you?
Well, when I was in high school, I played baseball. I pitched, and I was kind of like Ohtani, was able to hit, pitched, and then from that standpoint, I played tight end in high school, defensive end as well. So I had scholarship offers in all three sports, but it was slowing my recruiting down because they were trying to get me to make a decision. So I could have got drafted in baseball if I'd have stuck with it, could have played college football. But then as I was growing as a freshman, I was 6'2" as a freshman, 6'4" as a sophomore, 6'6" as a junior, 6'8" as a senior, then 6'10" once I got to sophomore in college. So once I got to my junior year, I put everything down and just focused on basketball by itself.
Wow, so it sounds like you were growing every year in high school. Your coach was loving you, man. That's awesome. That's awesome. So
Yeah, sure.
What I want to get into next is just for the viewers at home. I know people, they hear about NBA players and they wonder if they always were top tier talent. So was there ever a point where you initially were an underdog, or did you shine pretty quickly?
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily say I was an underdog. I was privileged because I was talented, played inside and outside in basketball. I was getting heavily recruited in basketball, and then went to San Jose State my freshman year. Hated the program, hated the coach, didn't like him. Just a very abusive kind of guy. Coach Barry was just a horrible coach and not a very good person. So I decided to leave and go to Nebraska. And when I played against Nebraska in the tournament, I made all tournament team out there. And then I decided to, because when I played, we didn't have the transfer portal, right? So once I decided to leave and make it known I was leaving, I was getting heavily recruited again and visited Nebraska. And I remember going there and liked it and spoke to Coach Nee, and he offered me a scholarship on the spot. And so I was ready to rock and roll with them.
Well, it's a good thing you went with your gut instinct, because looking back at it, everything really panned out for you. So it was a great decision. So,
yeah, I mean, I was happy with it for sure.
That's awesome. The weather change must have been a bit tough, though, going from that nice Cali weather to cold weather in Nebraska.
Yeah, I mean, I had only seen snow, going here and there, and then going to Nebraska, it was freezing cold. I remember one of the first times it was snowing, and they came to my dorm room, and I wasn't in class. I mean, I always got good grades, but I wasn't in class, and they were asking me why I wasn't in class. I told Coach Nee, I said I didn't have a jacket, like that kind of stuff. So I had to go out, I had to get jackets and gloves and all that, and then from that standpoint, it was fine. But yeah, a California kid coming to the snow is totally different.
Definitely adjustment at first, for sure. For sure. So the next thing I want to dive into is you have a unique experience where you've played overseas and you've played in the NBA as well. So what are some aspects of the game that you like in the NBA, and what were some aspects of overseas that you liked in the different places that you played?
I mean, I was fortunate to play in a lot of places, right? I played in France, Italy, Greece, Spain, Russia, then 5 summers in Puerto Rico. So I had a chance to experience a lot. Won a championship in France, went to the finals multiple times in different places I played. But the thing that you kind of really learn to adapt to is the culture. So when I went to Spain, I spoke Spanish, so that wasn't a problem. Went to France, didn't speak any French, had an interpreter that walked around with me. I kind of learned French through him, and from that standpoint, learned to speak French. So, that aspect of playing in various places, I've learned to speak Spanish, English, a little bit of Russian, a little bit of Greek, a little bit of Italian, and English. So 5 language adaptability, this has been good. And, those experiences coming to Europe, it's like a free vacation to a certain degree, even though, you're playing a sport, you're required to do a job, but in your off time, you get a chance to experience a country that, most people can't experience. So I had a chance to play in a lot of country, a lot of different places. So, that was a blessing. And then, going to the NBA was a childhood dream of mine, being a kid from LA. And the first team I signed a contract was the LA Lakers. So that was a great situation for me, and left there, went over to Europe to hone my skills a little bit more because I was so young coming into the NBA at 21. Came back from France after winning the championship in France, and my agent got a call from Pat Riley, who was in Miami at the time. Went down and met with him, went through the summer program with them, and then ended up signing with them. Left them and went to Charlotte. Glenn Rice is a really, really good friend of mine. So I was on the verge of actually in negotiation with the Toronto Raptors, believe it or not. I know you guys up in Toronto, but Butch Carter was the coach at the time, and he was a client of my agent, and he was talking to me about coming to Toronto. So I was going back and forth of, do I want to go there? Do I want to go to Charlotte? And then I ended up deciding to go to Charlotte. It was a good decision for me. And from that standpoint, I played with Golden State after that. And my career continued. Then took a year off. Had went through a divorce. Took a year off from playing. Then I got contacted from Paul Silas, who was one of my coaches in Charlotte. That he had got the job in Cleveland. Went up there, signed with Cleveland. That happened to be LeBron James' rookie year. So, I was fortunate with that, and I decided to continue to play, and I retired and put it down for good in 2012, when I was like 41 years old.
Awesome. So you have a really impressive NBA career. Just as a side note, I'm curious to know, I heard Pat Riley is one of the toughest coaches to play for. What was it like playing under Pat Riley?
I mean, Pat Riley is a very, very disciplined kind of a coach, right? He does everything very, very systematically, very schematically, uses the same color pens, the same color blue paper he used at Eric Spoelstra, who's the coach now, is a video guy when I was there. So Pat is a very, very demanding coach, right? He tries to get a lot out of each player that plays for him. When I was in training camp, we had 17 straight days of 2-a-days with no days off. And it's pretty tough that you go through, but very grueling situation. I mean, he wins. Everybody has their way of coaching, their way of doing things, and that's the way he done it. But yeah, he's a very, very tough coach to play for, just based off the fact that the demand schedule he asks for players a lot. And I learned a lot, being in that situation. But there's other situations that I feel was a much better fit for me, much better fit for basketball players in general. And you see Jimmy Butler gets to the point now he's ready to go. So you've seen a lot of players come through there, but they get to the point that they feel that they have to transition to other places just because the organization as a whole is just a lot different to play for.
No doubt. No doubt. Well, it's great to get your perspective on Pat. And out of all the teams that you've played for, because I know you've played both overseas throughout Europe, and you've also played on a number of teams in the NBA, was there a specific team that was your favorite team out of all the teams that you played for?
I really liked playing for Golden State. It was close to home, right? It was in the Bay Area. I knew the Bay Area. Loved playing for Golden State at that point in time. Great situation. Solid organization. We didn't win a whole lot when I was there. PJ Carlesimo was a good coach and a good person. I liked him a lot. And then I also liked playing in Charlotte, right? Charlotte was a great place to play in, had a good time there. Charlotte's a beautiful city to be in. It's kind of laid back, and that's kind of more what I like, the fact of being down there, right? I'm not really a club person, never smoke, never drink, and that kind of a scenario wasn't my thing. But I really liked the organization because the guys, I was real close to Glenn. So Glenn and I would spend multiple hours playing video games, just relaxing a little bit. But Golden State and Charlotte are my two NBA teams that I played for. I liked a lot. And as far as Europe, I love playing in France. I played 5 years there. Went to the finals twice, won it once. So that was a great experience for me. But my favorite place I've ever played in was Puerto Rico, right? Puerto Rico was a great place for me to play in as a summertime league. I played there 5 summers. I got MVP, and they voted me the top 10 import to ever play in the history of the league. So very, very good situation. Looking forward to taking my family down there, hopefully this year to have a chance to have them experience that.
That's an amazing opportunity. I'm glad that you got to play out there, and it looks like you did some amazing things. And it's interesting to know that you were a gamer at the time, because here at the GameBreakers, we love gaming. Are you still a gamer, or do you not play anymore?
I don't have as much time, but I love NBA 2K, like Madden and stuff like that on the PS. So I love video games whenever I can get the time. I've done that as a kid, so that's one of my things I do like to do if I get time.
No doubt. Do you have a favorite player, or do you like to play with your own team? If you have that option, who do you like to play with when you're playing 2K?
When I play 2K, I like playing with Golden State a lot, right? I like playing with them. I like playing with the Lakers here and there. So there's a few teams that I like to play with. There's teams I just won't play with, which is like Boston, teams like that. I mean, being from LA, I just can't. I just
can't do it. Those are the rivals. Can't do that.
Yeah,
I hear you. I hear that. So I'm guessing it's going to be Glenn Rice, but if it's not, out of all the players that you played with, like out of all the teammates that you had, whose game were you most impressed by?
It's a number of players that I played with, right? I mean, in Charlotte, we had a great team. We had Glenn, we had Anthony Mason, we had Vlade Divac, we had the point guard David Wesley, Bobby Fields, B.J. Armstrong, Vernon Maxwell. So we have a very, very good team. In Miami, you have Tim Hardaway, Lonzo Mourning, Dan Marley, P.J. Brown. There's a lot of players, that I played with on the same team in Golden State. I played with John Starks and Antoine Jameson. And then, seeing LeBron that first day of training camp in Cleveland, knew he was going to be special his rookie year. So, there's a lot of players that, I played with on the same team. I don't think I have one guy that just stand out more than others, because there's different dynamics in the game of basketball, different dynamics in the NBA. And players that you play with are just, they come and go, different years, different things. So I wouldn't say there's one player that stands out from anyone else. I would just say I play with a variety of players that were very talented.
It sounds like it. That's quite the list. And just to touch upon what you said about there being different dynamics, There's a lot of different dynamics now in the NBA, specifically in terms of the route that players take to get to the NBA. So being somebody that's played both in Europe and that's also played in the NBA, if you're a young guy and you're identified as a superstar, kind of like yourself, McDonald's American, a guy that is definitely on the path to go to the NBA, do you think it's better to take the route kind of like what LaMelo Ball did, where you go to Europe early, you're playing against grown men and you're running complicated sets and learning those tough lessons early on? Or do you think it's more better to stay in North America, maybe go the G League route or the NCAA route, especially because they have such attractive NIL deals right now?
I mean, when I played compared to now, there's no comparison, right? It's not even the same landscape. So, yeah, players now get NIL deals in high school. They get them in college. So, I mean, if I was getting an NIL deal when I was in Nebraska, I'd be well over $2 million a year, because Nebraska is one of those places that, they support and they love their players, and that's their version of the NFL, the NBA. So I would encourage each player just to take their own path, right? Whatever they see fits for them and the best landscape for their family, the things that's going to benefit the most, I would tell them to follow, because there's no one true path, right? LaMelo Ball had a path. He went to Lithuania to play and then comes back and, gets drafted pretty high by Charlotte and is having a prosperous career. But I mean, everybody's plan and path is not the same, right? God has a different plan for everyone in the game of life itself. So because of that, I mean, you look at Damian Lillard. I know him extremely well. When I was in with the Warriors, he used to come to the games, the ball boy, that kind of thing. So he did 4 years at Weber State, and look at his career. So everybody's path is different that they take, and there's no one way or one pathway to get to be a professional athlete, because it's very few and far between. There's not that many people who even make it at that level.
No doubt. And that's a great insight hearing that from you. And you're somebody that was able to play pro for 17 years. A lot of guys don't even play for half that time. So what are some things that you credit having such a long career to? What are some things that really helped you out to be able to play for 17 years at the level that you did?
I mean, for me, right, if I look at the situation of, how long I played and what I did is, I practiced, right? I worked on my craft 24/7. I played a lot, and, people were out in the gym. I was pretty much, out at clubs. I was at the gym working on my game. But the thing you have to do, you have to find your identity as a player, right? You have to really decide what you want to do, and if you're going to take the game of serious, and if you're going to really focus on trying to get to the highest level, right? My mentality, whenever I decide to work with someone, is turning a project into a player. You want to make sure that everybody that you have a chance to come across, and if you're working in your game, you really want to do the things that are going to help you get to the next level. And, me being able to really shoot the basketball, play inside, outside, and be able to be super athletic kind of helped me. But I put a lot of time into working on my game every day and was really had a chance to succeed at that level.
I'd love to hear some more insights on that, because it's really easy to perform well when everybody's looking, when you're at practice and you want to show off to the coach and look good. But when the lights aren't on and nobody sees you, and you have to dig deep and really find what it takes to get to the next level, what are some things that you'd recommend, or some things that you did in terms of like maybe how many shots you'd like to put up, or rebounding drills, or whatever you did? What is some advice that you'd give young people that want to get to the level that you aspire to do what?
I mean, one of the main things you want to do as a young basketball player is you want to decide, what do you want to be good at, right? I always tell someone to be good at all the aspects of playing, but I used to have a routine when I played. I didn't want to leave the gym until I got 250, 500 shots made, right? I don't want to just go in attempts. Attempts is not what counts. The ball going to the basket is what counts. And then another thing you can't teach is being in shape, right? Conditioning is a very, very thing, but it's mindset, right? The mindset has to be very, very strong in what you do, because adversity is going to come across your life, and the construction of your life might not be the house that you want built, but you have to deal with the deck of cards that God gives you, because at the end of the day, we woke up and we were breathing today, and some people didn't make it today. So the thing is, as a young kid playing, you have to ask yourself, if you have a game over here as a video game, you have a basket over here, which one is going to be most important to you? And for me, I think it's most important that every kid coming up and play just have to really figure out their forte to basketball and if they want to be serious about playing, you got to work on something every day, whether you're dribbling down the street, whether you're going to get some shots up, because if you're not going to take the game serious, then why are you playing?
That's right. That's right. Here at the GameBreakers, we love mindset, and I'd love to hear. Did you have some routines or things that you did on a day-to-day basis that really helped to strengthen your mindset?
I mean, I still do the same things every day, right? There's 5 things I do every day. Every day I read, every day I write, every day I think, every day I file, and every day I ask questions. So those things I do every single day, right? My mind is, I have a very, very strong mindset of what I do. And once I'm determined to do something, I just put that focus in my determination. But, you know, I'm a reader and a writer. I'm old school. I have notebooks all over my office and all over the house. And, you know, something comes to my mind, I write it. But, you know, kids and people to this day, from high school to college and even professionals, that you have the mindset that you maintain is the matter that you're going to endure in your game of life. So if your mindset is set to be strong every day and you do the same things every day, so the things that you want to take your ability and have that become your reality, then that's going to be a whole different set of results that you're going to get.
Hearing how disciplined and methodical you are, it makes sense why you had a 17-year career. You know, you did all the things, didn't leave any stones unturned to be the best version of yourself. And I really commend you for that. And what I want to touch upon next is we all have a moment. Maybe there's one, or maybe there's a couple that stand out for you where we're just in the zone, where the basketball looks, or the hoop looks like an ocean and you just can't miss. Do you remember a specific game where you were just in the zone, where you were breaking the game?
Yeah, I can remember specifically. I had a game in Puerto Rico. We were playing against Mayagüez, and it's one of the rivals, you know, of the organization, home state that I was playing for. And it was really interesting because we were playing them, and while we were playing them, I had 35 points in the first half. And,
in the first half, wow.
Yeah, so I had 35 points in the first half, and from that standpoint, for me to get the record, I'd have to get to a certain point of around 51. And so we had a player on the other team who was a member of the organization at some point in time, and it was his record. And I remember in the last few minutes of the game, they were just double teaming me every single time just so I couldn't score to break his record, because he had some hatred towards that because of the fact that he wasn't playing for the organization anymore and wasn't invited to play. So I ended up scoring 50 instead of getting 51, so missed his record by 1 point. But I mean, I was 12 of 13 shooting in the first half, and I think I ended up 14 for 16 shooting. So it was a much different situation than it was, but it was pretty interesting, you know, with that for that game. It just felt like I couldn't miss.
Yeah, well, it sounds like you definitely broke the game in a massive way, so that's awesome. The next thing I want to ask you about is if you have a poster dunk that stands out to you. Was it in that game, or was there another game where you just crowned somebody? I know the viewers would love to hear about that.
Multiple poster dunks, right? We played the Clippers when I was at Golden State, and PJ ran a play for me called 4 out, and I'll never forget. And it was to tie the game because he had me playing center at the time, just because I was quick. So from that aspect, he cleared out. And I had a one-on-one move and dunked on Olakandi. So that was one of them. And then I remember we played in Dallas, and one of my good friends, rest in peace, Sean Rooks, I got the ball on the wing, and it's part of my my video highlight video that was created for me that I dunked on him. And then I've got several dunks in Europe and college. So I mean, I can't say it's one, but I definitely was athletic to be dunking on people.
That's awesome. That's great to hear. There's just a couple more questions I have for you. One is, there's been a lot of buzz in the air about the NBA, and you hear some people knocking the changes in the game, but I really like certain players. Like if you look at Jokic and you look at Shai Alexander, I know we're complaining about too many threes going up, but those are two guys that really make a living from the mid-range. Shai kind of reminds me a little bit of Kobe a bit, closest thing to Kobe that we'd have in this generation. And Jokic kind of reminds me, I see a little bit of magic in him. I see a little bit of burden in him. And I see there's not much this guy can't do. So what I want to hear from you is What are some things that, or do you prefer this new game, or do you more prefer the game that you played in your era, and why?
Well, I mean, my wife's favorite player is Jokic. That's her number one player in the NBA. She loves watching him play. He's a great player. I would say by far he's the best big man, in the NBA. To me, I'm probably one of the best players to play in the NBA right now. But I mean, he's a pure example that he's not the most athletic big man, but he's by far the most dominant big man in the NBA. Right? It's just impossible to stop him one-on-one. He plays the game right. But if you look at where he comes from Europe. So
that's right.
Those guys, train early. They play early. I remember playing against Tony Parker at 16 years old over in France. So, these players that come from Europe, they're very, very developed at a young age. And, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, I mean, he's turning to a solid player, but coming out being drafted, he wasn't that guy, right? Once he was traded and things helped him to get there, he kind of evolved. So Oklahoma City has been a home for him, has been a player where he's developed. But the NBA game is a lot different than when I played, right? When I came in, playing against the Pistons and the Bulls and these grinding East Coast teams and Knicks and players and teams like that, you can really body somebody, you can get physical. Now you can't touch anybody in the NBA. So of course the NBA is at an all-time high for scoring points and shooting threes, and that's the model that they come in. But, the game was played a lot different when I was coming and playing.
Yeah, it has changed a lot, and it's great to hear your insights on the game compared to back then to now. And we're almost wrapped up here, but I wanted to close out and ask you about golden profits. And I wanted to commend you too, because when you're playing something your whole life, and that's what your entire life is centered around, it's hard to pivot. So I really commend you for pivoting and having a successful business. And for the viewers at home, we'd love to hear more about Golden Profits and what that's all about.
Yeah, Golden Profits. I mean, my wife and I are involved in a few different entities, right? We have 30 semi-trucks that run with Amazon every day. So we have 30 of them. They're on the road every day with the semi-trucks. So we do really well with that. But Golden Profits has been a passionate venture that her and I embarked in, and we teach people how to trade gold in the Forex market. So we have an education course that we teach people how to trade. I've been responsible for building the website, and one of the things we put in place is called the Trend Network, and we have different things and have some really, really solid people involved. A good friend of mine and his wife, Steve and Pasha Carter. And then we have another partner, Eric, and my wife, and then another stay-at-home mom who's done well. Her name is Shelly. So we have a really good group of leadership, and we've started off with, just a few members. Now we're over to 130 members, and we, the goal of our company is $100,000 in every hand. So the thing is, we teach people how to make anywhere from $250 to $1,000+ a day. It's going extremely well. We're excited about it. You guys can check out our website, goldenprofitsacademy.com. But it's really something that we are really passionate about, helping people win, right? The game of life is not that easy. And if you can remove finance out the equation, it'll really help do that. So the ventures of Golden Profits has been well, and our Amazon trucking business as well. I have a streaming media company called Streamology. You can check that out, streamologyinc.com, where I built a device about 9 years ago. So we have streaming media with live TV shows and live TV and things like that. So been pretty involved in these entities for a while, but Golden Profits is probably going to be one of the biggest projects and businesses that we've entertained in, because we're seeing a lot of people win. We've had a 20-year-old kid who's taking $20,000 out the market, and we've had some stay-at-home moms that kind of put their jobs to the side. But I always tell people, if you can remove finance out the equation of what you're doing in the game of life, then all of a sudden that game of sustainability turns to profitability. So Golden Profits has been an excellent journey for what we're doing, and teaching people how to trade gold is a very simplistic thing to do, and pretty excited about it, man.
That's really exciting, and we definitely have to put a link in the description for anybody. If you're still continuing to accept clients, we'd be happy to promote your brand, because it sounds like you have a great thing going there. And it's really neat too to know that you're in the trucking industry and have a successful Amazon business, because I was actually in the trucking business as well. I wasn't doing it nearly as big as you, but I was putting out 3 to 5 trucks a day. So to see somebody putting out 30+ is remarkable. And yeah, that's all we have for today. But it's been such a pleasure speaking with you, Tony. We're so glad to have had you as a guest. We're definitely going to put all your links in the description. And is there anything else, anything you want to leave with for the viewers before we wrap up?
I mean, I would just want to end with the viewers and tell them this, right? You want to be the best version of yourself because everybody else is taken, right? Take your life to a level that you've never seen, but your mindset can change your offset, which can help you springboard to the person that you want to be. So to all your listeners that are out there, to everybody in this game of life that's partaking in that bread of trying to walk the straight line and make themselves successful, I would just continue to tell people to be the best version of you, right? Because everyone else is taken. So appreciate you guys having me. I'll be looking forward to seeing the link and seeing this interview. And you guys, good luck with your program, the GameBreakers, and I hope you guys continue to prosper in this game of what you guys do in podcasting.
Thank you so much, and I wish the same to you. And for the viewers at home, really take heed to what he's saying, because just from hearing his story, this is a guy that really lived that and truly is living the best version of his life. So if you want to get into investments, definitely we're going to put a link in the description. And thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being a guest on our show. And we wish you all the best, Tony. We're just going to take a commercial break, but truly was a pleasure to speak with you today.
All right, you guys have a good one. Have a happy Sunday. We'll talk to you soon.
For sure, Tony. Have a happy Sunday.
Take care.
Peace.
Welcome to Golden Profits Academy, where financial freedom becomes your reality. Founded in November 2024, GPA is the premier platform for mastering the art of gold trading, specifically XAU or USD. Our mission is simple: to help individuals confidently master the skills needed to succeed in gold trading, achieve financial independence, and create a life of abundance. At GPA, we offer a comprehensive gold trading education program that includes cutting-edge strategies driven by AI, access to advanced trading tools, live trading sessions with proven strategies, but most importantly, we provide a supportive and exclusive community of traders who lift each other up every step of the way. We make it easy to join the academy with multiple payment options, pay using credit or debit cards, cryptocurrency options for seamless transactions, and flexible payment plans to help you get started without financial strain. Golden Profits Academy is more than a school. It's a family. We prioritize protecting and uplifting our community, which means not everyone is accepted. Those who join gain more than education. They gain a network of support and exclusivity. Our vision is bold yet clear: to teach students how to become their own bank by leveraging the power of gold trading. Unlock opportunities for financial freedom, abundance, and meaningful contributions to the world. At Golden Profits Academy, we're not just about helping you succeed. We're giving you the opportunity to help others while earning big. With our affiliate program, you'll earn a massive $500 for every referral who joins our academy. Share the gift of financial freedom and get rewarded for it. At Golden Profits Academy, we provide powerful digital tracking software and tools designed to help our community track trades and gain cutting-edge feedback for smarter, more successful trading. Golden Profits Academy. Expert coaching for setup and success. Perfect for all trading levels, especially beginners. Sign up as an affiliate today and start earning. Golden Profits Academy. Your future awaits.
Let's break the game.
Welcome back, guys. That was an amazing interview with ex-NBA player Tony Farmer, founder of Golden Profit. Man, that was really cool, man.
It was really cool. And honestly, I had an idea of how I thought the interview was going to go. Yeah. And I knew it was going to be amazing. But
for sure,
he just had so many gems and interesting things to talk about. So it was a pleasure to have him on the show. And definitely check out his product, Golden Profits.
Yeah, we're going to have the link in the description for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Get all our viewers to go check that out, man. Mm-hmm. All right, once again, like always, I just want to give you guys a big thank you for showing up and checking us out here at the GameBreakers. You know, here we're always trying to change people's lives and inspire and create. And just before we go, we got 3 pieces of game-breaking advice for our viewers at home. All right. Number one, adaptability is key. This doesn't matter if it's an NBA game, if it's your work, if it's your family, if it's your spouse, your family at home, whatever the case may be. Adaptability is key. Being able to be adaptable in life is usually what separates the good from the great. All right. So that's number one. Number two, learn from the best, but don't imitate. It's always the greatest thing to be in a room full of people that are smarter than you. Now, you don't have to imitate them. Just learn from the best and do it better. All right, there's my one piece of advice for you guys. And number three, guys, mental toughness will win you games, not just physical skill. Whether it's clutch moments in an NBA final or facing a comeback in a heated game, your mindset is the real game breaker. Work on mental resilience, stay calm under pressure, and always have a growth mindset. Take care.
Peace.
GameBreakers is home to everything esports and basketball. Let's break the game.